Hello, my name is Emma Duffy. I'm going to be playing the speech therapist in this part of the video.
And my name is Kelly Norell, and I will be the patient.
Okay, so we're going to get started by looking at the structures that are in your throat using the FEES. So we just went in through your nasal cavity, up through your nose, and this is your throat. If you look back here, this is what we call the posterior pharyngeal wall. But like I said, you can kind of think of it as the back of your throat just to get yourself oriented. Then moving forward, down here is where your esophagus is. It is not open right now just because all of the constrictors are shutting it, keeping it closed and sealed off. And then jumping farther forward, down here you can see this black hole. Down there is your trachea. The trachea can be thought as an air pipe, and it connects to your lungs. Right above that, we have your true vocal folds. They are used for phonation. They're also used to protect the trachea and your airway in general.
What is this white thing right here?
This one right here, the epiglottis.
Oh, okay.
The epiglottis, when you swallow, the epiglottis will flip down to close off the entire laryngeal vestibule, which pretty much is just the area that leads into your lungs. So when you swallow, it snaps shut to protect your airway.
Well, it looks really weird. Is that normal? Does it look normal?
Yeah, it looks completely normal. Right now it's just in an upright position because you're just breathing and talking. Yeah, it looks really good. Nothing to be concerned about at all.
Okay.
And then up from the true vocal folds, we have the false vocal folds. They also aid in protection of the airway. They also do minimally aid in phonation as well. Then moving even farther upwards, we have the left and the right arytenoids. They do play an important role in the tension and the position of the vocal fold. So again, they help aid in phonation and protection of the airway. And then on either side of the arytenoids, we have the left piriform sinus, and we also have the right piriform sinus. Sometimes when you swallow, there will be a little bit of a residue, kind of a little bit of pooling. Most times it's normal and not a lot to be concerned about. And then, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, this is the epiglottis, and it does snap down to protect the airway. Right behind the epiglottis, we have the valleculae. Sometimes there will be a little bit of residue and pooling there. Nothing to worry about.
What's residue? Where would you get the residue from?
So we're probably going to see some residue once you swallow. You'll be swallowing a liquid, so sometimes the residue is just a little bit of liquid left over in the throat.
Okay.
And yeah, just to orient you a little bit more, up here is the front of your throat, and back here is the back. It's a little confusing because it's flipped around, but yeah, so now we're going to initiate some swallows. I'm going to give you a beverage, and you are going to do some swallows so we can kind of see what's going on. So here we go. There was one swallow. As you can see, there's a little bit of residue in the left piriform sinus, just a tad around the epiglottis, and this structure right here is actually the base of your tongue.
So is that going to go into my lungs, the residue?
No, luckily it is outside of the laryngeal vestibule. It will not go into your lungs. With a subsequent swallow, it should go right down the esophagus and everything will be fine.
Okay.
So we're going to do a couple more swallows. There goes one, and another, and another, and yeah. Still a little bit of residue, minor pooling. Your airway was sealed tight by the epiglottis. Everything looks very safe. Yeah, do you have any more questions?
No, that looks good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So, my name is Kelly Norell, and for this part of the video, I will be the SLP.
And my name is Emma Duffy. For this part of the video, I'll be the patient.
Okay. So we're going to look at your swallow now, and I'll go ahead and point things out as we go through the video about what we're seeing.
Okay.
Okay. So this first part, we're going to be going into your nose. This is the beginning here. You can see it go into your nose. And right there, we're just going right through your velopharyngeal port there. Let's see. Oh, almost. There we go. Right there. We're coming through it. And now, right here, what we're looking at is down here. So at the bottom of the circle, you're looking at the base of your tongue. And then this white thing here will be your epiglottis, which is what we're going to see cover your airway, which is right here. This is your trachea, where the air goes into your lungs. These are your vocal folds. And they will, all of this area will close up and protect that when you do your swallow.
What are my vocal folds? What does that mean?
Your vocal folds are what some people call like vocal cords. They're what vibrate when you talk.
Oh.
But they're also very important because they close up not only when you're talking, but they close up completely and protect your airway when you swallow. So that's something we're going to be looking for in the video. So this up here at the top of the circle, this is the back of your throat. And kind of right here where you see this reflection, this little white spot right here, that's where your esophagus is that goes down into your stomach.
Okay.
So this goes into your airway and this goes into your stomach.
Okay.
So we're going to watch that. We're going to kind of check that out now.
Okay.
See, so here we go. So here we go. See all this closed up, your vocal folds closed up. These are false vocal folds right here. And they're closed up and then your epiglottis is going to come down and cover that all up when you swallow.
Is it normal to be that pink?
Yes, it is. They look great.
Okay.
So, and these are your puniform sinuses, and those look good too. And we're going to just look back here at your esophagus right now. So
what are my piriform sinuses?
So they're an area around the outside of your larynx there that kind of pool and collect the food and beverages and kind of it's pushes them towards your it's kind of a little funnel towards your esophagus here.
Okay.
But all of your little structures make this little area and it just kind of goes back. So right now we're looking at your posterior pharyngeal wall back here at the top, and here's your esophagus, and we're going to take a look at that. There it is. So that looks good.
Whoa, what's that bright light?
So you just when that happened, you swallowed. So everything kind of closed tight and to push it down. And so that's just what happens to the scope when you swallow, is you just get this, the light kind of reflects back up into it when everything closes and it looks white like that.
Is it normal that mine did that? Does everyone's do that?
Everyone's do. Yeah, no, everybody's do that. Okay. So here we go. So let's take a look. More. That all looks really good. Well, there's your esophagus. Some more. All right, so let's go ahead and move up here so we can actually see you swallow a little bit.
Okay.
I'll look for another. There's a swallow right there. All right, so let's go right before that. So right here, we're going to see you swallow some green liquid. Let's see what happens. Okay. So you saw it flash white where you swallowed. And now you can see over here, you have a little bit of residue in those puniform sinuses. And that's normal. The next time you swallow, it will just go down your esophagus. Everything closed up, it looks like really well around your airway. There you go. There's some more. And you can see it just stays out there and nothing's in here. Everything looks good. There. Let's look back here. Just one little. So here you can see this where your epiglottis is right here. And that's the liquid coming down. Let's see it close. And there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks good. Everything looks great.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.